Lexical verbs. Regular verbs. Regular verbs, the class to which most lexical verbs belong, have four different forms. These forms realize a variety of functions. The most regular verbs form and function. Base form, function, present tense, infinitive with or without to. People always look at me. Base form, function, infinitive with or without to. I went to look. I want to look. Let me look. S form, present tense, third person singular. She looks at everything. Ing form, progressive aspect. What are you looking at? Non-tensed and non-finite clause. Looking ahead, we should book flights for the summer holidays. Ing form, gerund, nominal form. Looking shouldn't offend anyone. Ing form adjectives. They had to work in freezing temperatures. Ed form, past tense. We looked for a taxi. Ed form, ed participle. I've looked everywhere. Ed form, non-tensed in non-finite clauses. Looked at in that way. It seemed less problematic. Ed form adjectives. We had some wonderful Irish smoked salmon. The present tense form is the same as the base form for all persons except third person singular, which takes the S form. I look, present tense form. We look, they look, present tense form. He looks, S form. She looks, S form. It looks, S form. One looks, S form. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs, like regular verbs, have a base form, NS form and an ing form, but they vary in how the functions of the regular verb ed form are realized. Some irregular verbs have the same form for the base form and for all the functions of the ed form. All three forms the same. Base form, cut. Ed form as past tense, cut. Ed form as ed participle or adjective or non-tensed, cut. Base form, set. Ed form is past tense, set. Ed form is ed participle or adjective or non-tensed, set. Base form, shut. Ed form is past tense, shut. Ed form is ed participle or adjective or non-tensed, shut. Some irregular verbs have the same form for the base and ed form is ed participle, adjective or non-tensed, but a different form for the ed form is past tense. Base form and ed participle, etc. the same. Past tense different. Base form come. Ed form is participle came. Ed form is ed participle or adjective or non-tense come. Base form become. Ed form is past tense become, became. Ed form is ed participle adjective or non-tense become. Base form run. Ed form is past tense ran. Ed form is ed participle or adjective or non-tense run. Some irregular verbs have three different forms which correspond to the functions of the base and the ed forms of irregular verbs. All three forms different. Base form speak. Ed form is past tense spoke. Ed form is ed participle adjective or non-tense spoken. Take base form took. Ed form is past tense taken. Ed form is ed participle adjective or non-tensed. Swim base form swam. Ed form is past tense swum. Ed form is ed participle adjective or non-tensed. There are other varieties too. Be, have, do. Be, have, and do have irregular forms for the present tense. Be, when used with I, becomes am. When used with you, we, or they, becomes are. When used with he, she, it, or one, becomes is. Be also has irregular past tense forms. When used with I, he, she, or it, becomes was. When used with we, you, they, becomes were. Have when used with I, we, you, they, becomes have. When used with he, she, it, one, becomes has. Do when used with I, we, you, they, becomes do. But when used with he, she, it, one, becomes does.